Good morning, viewers. So welcome to Newsx, and I'm Simran. Let's take a look at the top story. After the tragic crash yesterday, Air India Airlines have now confirmed the casualties at 241 of the 242 passengers aboard the AI-171 flight that have lost their lives in the tragic, ill-fated Air India plane crash in Ahmedabad. The lone survivor is being treated in the hospital, while the lone survivor also met Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who reached after being briefed about the situation in Ahmedabad. The airline has offered its deepest condolences to the families of the deceased and stated that it would focus its effort on the needs of the affected. Air India has also dispatched a team of the caregivers to Ahmedabad to provide additional support and is also giving full cooperation to authorities investigating this accident. Air India has also set up a dedicated passenger hotline number for the people and the kin of the victims. The hotline number, which has been set by Air India, is 1800569144. And to provide more information, this is the hotline number that people who want to get in touch for the important and necessary information can reach out. Those calling from outside India can now call at 91806 277 9200. Anand Singh, my colleague, is joining me live from the site of the crash. Viewers, remember yesterday there were horrific visuals which we saw on our screens, and it were heartbreaking to say the least about the tragic crash. Anand Singh joins me from the very site where within a minute the crash took place and claimed the lives of 241 people. Anand, what are you picking up this morning? Are the investigating officers from different teams, from the airlines, from the police, from the security, are there at the ground? What is in fact at this point of time this morning being prepared, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also going to reach the crash site?
Even as yesterday, the Air India AI-171 flight, London-bound flight, that crashed just on this building, and you can see the condition of the building, as the building had earlier the white coat paint, and now it has turned completely black.
So that has been caused over here by the flight crash over here, and even as Air India confirmed that 241 people on board out of the 242. They are
people on board out of the 242. They are dead, and even you can see there is heavy presence of police over here with security personals also guarding this place over here, and media is not allowed to go near the crash site, as the building can be dangerous and it can also come down due to the intensity of the fire that was caused by the crash of the AI-171 flight. So clearly, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also set to arrive here in next half an hour. So clearly the security arrangements have been made. All the security officials are here, NDRF team, then from Gujarat Police, then also from the forensic team, and several teams of the Air India are also over here to assist and help in the probe to the government. So clearly the site, you can see on the screens that how much damage has been caused over here, as the flight only crashed within a minute after taking off from the Ahmedabad Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport over here. So clearly the flight was having around 165 Indian passengers, 53 British nationals, 7 Portuguese and 1 Canadian passenger. So clearly there is a lot of damage that has been caused over here, and with the kind of crash that Gujarat has never witnessed earlier in the history. So this is the first kind of the thing that has happened over here, and you can see several of the security personals guarding over here, and even the several teams from the forensics are also coming to determine the cause of the crash that took place yesterday. Back to you, sir.
Well, all right. In fact, Anand, I'll request you to kindly stay on with us, as we are also getting more updates as far as this very horrific, tragic and a very significant accident is concerned, it is being considered as one of the worst aviation disasters that India has suffered in a long time. While the death toll that we are also learning at this point of time the details about, a total of 265 people have reportedly lost their lives in the Ahmedabad plane crash, out of which 241 have been the passengers aboard the AI-171 flight. The flight had crashed into the BJ Medical College in Ahmedabad. We all have seen these very gory visuals where there were still empty plates in the college mess where the students were taking their lunch and were just in fact sitting during the lunch time. At that very point, the tragic plane, ill-fated Air India Dreamliner crashed into the BJ Medical, also claiming the lives of these college students. Anand Singh is also with me live on the broadcast as he continues to give us the live updates. In fact, of the chilling horror that the nation has witnessed yesterday. Anand, if you can take us through right now the security measures that are being placed at this point of time around the medical college, as much as it's possible to show us what is the situation in the aftermath of the tragic air crash.
Yeah, Simran, look, even as just we spoke to some of the senior officials here in Ahmedabad, especially from the Gujarat police, and they have confirmed that around 300 people have died in this tragic air crash that took place on Thursday afternoon around 1:38 p.m. So clearly, this has sent shockwaves to several of the people over there, as their relatives are still trying to figure out that how they are going to identify the bodies of their near and dear ones. So clearly it's a very tragic situation to define on camera over here, the way in which several of the gory images that we saw, that how several dead bodies were pulled out of the crash site. And this is the same crash site where several of the students of the intern students, especially of the medical college, were having their lunch, and this is the hospital, this is the hostel where they were staying with their family. So around 50 students from here are being said to have died in this horrific crash that took place yesterday in the afternoon. And even see the security personnel over there and the fire brigade team, they have made a standby of the fire tender vehicle over here for any kind of situation, as the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also set to visit this crash site. So the SPG is also taking control of this building and the entire area, so that when Prime Minister visits over here, then they can explain that how this crash happened and what kind of measures the security team have taken to bring out the dead bodies. And till late last night, they were still looking for survivors when the crash has happened during the noon. So clearly the rescue operations were going on for long since afternoon, but the rescue officials were looking for the dead bodies, especially the NDRF team. They were looking for the dead bodies, as even now former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani was also in this ill-fated flight of Air India. He has also passed away in this tragic incident. So clearly Gujarat is now trying to cope up with the kind of disaster that it has seen on Thursday afternoon, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to visit. Yesterday we saw Home Minister Amit Shah has also visited the crash site as well as the hospital, and he also met the lone survivor over there. So clearly the government has been handling this situation very minutely, looking at the way in which several people have died, because this is one of the worst air disasters in India's history. So clearly the government is taking all the necessary steps to provide assistance to the families of those who have died in this tragic incident. Back to you, Simran.
Request you to be on with us on the telecast, as what we are also learning are the few details that we are gathering this morning. But before that, I have my guest on the broadcast, Group Captain UK Dev.